Warning: the following content contains language that may be inappropriate for younger viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome back to the Let's Get Heavy podcast, the home of riffs, roots, and raw conversations. Today I'm joined by L.O.C to dive into their latest single, Step to Me, their EP, The Ultimate Karma, and what the future holds for this exciting groove metal band. So, let's get heavy. Guys, welcome to the Let's Get Heavy podcast, where we like to highlight bands and try and spread just a little bit of positivity throughout the world of metal. My name's Stevie, and it's awesome to have you on our show this evening. Now, for those who do not know the band, could we have an introduction from left to right, your name and your role within the band, please?
Yeah, my name's Mark. I play drums in L.O.C.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
Yeah. I'm Adam. I'm lead vocalist and guitarist.
Nice to meet you, Adam.
Hello, I am Will. I am guitarist of L.O.C. And that's about it so far.
You more than just that, don't you? You just I'm Dave. I play bass and I do backing vocals as well. Bit shouty now and again.
Nice to meet you, lads. Thank you very much for giving
Nice
up your
to meet
free
you.
time to have us. It's not, normally because you guys can see me, especially on the live stream. So this is the first time we can probably have a bit of a chin wag and get to know more about L.O.C. I've just been calling it as L.O.C. because I thought it stood for something. But anyway, let's start from the beginning.
It actually does stand for something. But we go by the abbreviation. It actually stands for level of consciousness. But we just go with L.O.C. It's short, it's catchy, easy to remember, and it's a bit less of a mouthful.
She said.
See, you're in the right place, lads, for this type of shit, mate. You're in the right place for this type of shit. No apologies is needed. You probably, I don't know if you watched any of our previous stuff, but I have a tendency to go on tangents and just talk a lot of bollocks. So, so you're in the right place. So for anyone discovering the band for the first time, what's the essence of L.O.C. and what's the mission behind the noise?
Well, we tend to class ourselves as groove metal just because we have that kind of groove to it. You know, it's got a bit more of that sort of edge to it rather than just being all kind of straight balls to the wall. But it's drop tuned, it's heavy. At times it's pretty nasty.
It's all about the riff.
Head nodding.
Head nod.
Yeah, that's it.
Head nod, chin out, lip out.
Exactly.
What I like. That's all any of us really want a gig, in it, to stand there and nod our heads.
Yeah. Pretty much, because, I mean, you can probably all relate, because you're exactly the same as me, apart from Adam with the hair. But nothing looks weirder than bald lads just headbanging. It just doesn't feel right, does it?
No.
And that seems to be the way to go now.
It's a bit more of a nod, isn't it? With a bit more of an action.
It is, and slow nod, because if you do it fast, you know what I mean, especially at the front, you might blind the singer with the shine. You know what I mean? The singer, what's going on, man? But no, man, I totally agree with you, and I do love those slow groove riffs that you guys bring in. It's absolutely brilliant. Which we'll touch on with a bit more. But please correct us if I've gotten this wrong. You're from Bridlington, is that correct?
Well, yeah, Bridlington, surrounding areas. I'm actually currently living in Burton Fleming, which is where we're doing this now. Mark lives in Hunnaby, which is literally the next village across.
Miles away.
And then Brid is like the next town across. So, yeah, we're all from the Brid area.
So it's not really a place well known, if you can probably agree. What was that?
Little Angels, what are you on about?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a metal hotspot, if you can probably agree, which I love, because I love to see bands come out of places like this, because much like ourselves in Newcastle, I feel like we get forgotten about. Much like yourselves, probably. You probably feel like you're getting a bit left out, especially when it comes to gigs. You have to travel for hours on end just to go and see a decent show. You know, so I love to see, but how has this small town environment shaped your sound or even your attitude towards the band?
Well, I think the great thing about it is it's meant that that's where our kind of originality comes from because there's not a scene to try and fit into, so we just do what we do.
Hmm.
You know, I've never been one for writing songs to sound like any particular band, even though influences naturally come in there. I just pick up my guitar and write what sounds good, and then yeah, and that's kind of how we do it. And I think the great thing is there is no niche to fit into here, so we can kind of create our own niche.
Hmm. How is the scene in Bridlington? Is there much of a metal scene, out of curiosity?
No, metal scene. There's plenty of music going on. Up and coming bands.
Yeah, yeah,
Tends to
pretty
be
middle of the road, isn't it?
indie type of stuff. You're going to get your covers
Rock.
bands as well that maybe do a range of stuff. But
I
as
think
far
probably
as
the heaviest band from around here is probably Anti-Inferno from Scarborough.
Yeah.
They were like black metal.
And,
Fair enough.
I mean, don't get me wrong, though, there's some extremely talented musicians around here. I mean, there's some young guitarists and stuff like that. They're absolutely phenomenal. You know those musicians that make you wish you practiced harder.
just think you're sick.
Yeah.
But you know, but as regards the metal scene, no, there isn't one. But that said, the good thing about that is it makes it quite easy to make an impact because everybody's like, "Oh my God, what the fuck is this?" You know what I mean?
I think we've done that.
Yeah, definitely.
He turned some heads a few times. Oh, what's this? This sounds good. Let's get it
Yeah.
on. But so do you find a struggle maybe to find some gigs or anything in your area,
Well,
or do you have to travel outside?
luckily, a couple of us have been in bands previously, so I have contacts. I was in a band years ago. I don't know if you remember, called Torso Horse.
Not familiar with that.
But we used to wear all the face paint and that, and we were relatively successful on, we did a lot sort of nationally. So I still had some contacts from that. The big issue with that was the contacts I have from 20 years ago, the ones that are left, the industry's like a completely different place now to what I was used to. You don't, everything's done differently. You know, I'm back from the days where you sent demos out in an envelope,
Trading tapes.
yeah, and that kind of thing. Whereas now it's all internet based. So I've had to learn very quickly from that. But we're learning quickly, you know. And I think
adapting to the new environment because it's all digital now, isn't it? So
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Looking forward
But-
to coming up and playing Trillions at some point, anyway.
Oh, mate, tell us when that's happening because I'll be there. I'll be there for
What's
sure.
summer, definitely. Top
Definitely,
venue.
I'll definitely be there for that. But I couldn't agree more with how you've said the music scene has changed. For the better, I don't know. It's hard to tell because you got the age of AI coming out, which
Yeah.
is hated, which on so many levels. Which I kind of see the benefits of both sides. I'm not trying to say AI is good. I'm not saying it's bad neither, but I do see the benefits of it. And as well, you've now got Twitch, which is what you seen me do a couple of weeks ago. You know what I mean? And there is thousands of people who do that. It's not just myself. There is thousands of people out there who do it. And then podcasting.
But that's brilliant because that gives people like us a way of getting our music out there and getting known without having to go. I mean, back again, if you go 15, 20 years ago, national exposure was hard to come by. You know, you had to do well, and it took some level of investment and all that kind of thing. Yeah, and you had to go from one end of the country to the other gigging to get seen. And getting in a national music publication or something is difficult, and that you just didn't have access to that kind of thing, so you really had to kind of slum it. And you go and play those gigs where you turn up and play at 5 people and that kind of thing. Whereas now, you do have this platform where you can be literally seen by thousands of people if you can get in the right place without having to go anywhere.
Yeah,
Which is good because it's not a waste of your time. Then we used to spend a lot of time back in the day wasting time because you get you travel a long way for nobody to come and appreciate what you do. Because you couldn't get your name out there, whereas now it's brilliant. You can get your name out there. But the downside to that is everybody has access to it. So you have to be the person who's willing to work harder. You have to push harder than everybody else is pushing to get noticed because everybody's doing it. So
The
that's
genius of it as well is because now everyone's got all the information in the touch of their hands on a mobile phone.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Everything's there in their hands now. So what we did on Twitch, everyone can watch on the phone. You know what I mean? It's the same with this podcast when this goes out on YouTube and Spotify, etc. It's on their phone. Do you know what I mean? Everything's
Yeah.
there for them. So couldn't agree more with the internet playing a huge role. Like I say, sometimes it's not always the greatest of places to be, the internet, because you probably know yourselves, social media is a toxic environment. You can't open your phone without who's a pedophile today. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's yeah, I mean it's just negativity and it's constant hate all over. So which is why we do the podcast and try and push as much positivity as we can.
Yeah,
Nice.
I
So,
do think it's getting a little bit better with the positivity side of things, though, because I think people are so sick of hearing negativity that I think people are starting to be a bit more understanding of what everybody's doing and that we're because everybody's in the same boat. I mean, let's face it, things are shit at the moment with cost of living and things. Everybody's struggling, aren't they? We're all the same. We all have to go work our asses off to make a living, and I think the only way to do it is all to pull together and enjoy the good times, and like us doing what we do, that's our release from it, It's we're making something positive out of a negative, basically. But
Keeping ourselves happy doing it.
yeah,
Yeah, music's
and your release
yeah,
makes us happy. Do you know what I mean? Because you are releasing some absolute banging tunes. I know I've only heard Step to Me so far, but guys, that was a fucking banging tune. Yeah, I mean, I think I
you
even
wait
said
till
it
you hear the
live,
new
and I said,
single.
"This is fucking sick." So, and this is why I do the live stream, because there is so much, and I mean so much unheard good music out there in the world. So honestly, from people like myself and who share my thoughts, thank you for releasing awesome
Thank
tunes to
you.
us.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for listening. It makes it all worth our while when we know people are enjoying what we
Yeah.
do.
Exactly. Keep going, mate, because you're doing an absolute cracking job. But we're getting a
Wait
little
a
bit.
minute.
See what I mean? This is what we do. We'll get off tangents. Oh,
Stevie, while we get off on a tangent, I'd like you to meet my daughter.
oh, hello.
This is my daughter, Darcy.
Hello. Nice to meet you. How you doing?
You'll notice at the end of Step to Me, there's like a backing vocal over the last two lines that's like a bit satanic sounding.
Screaming.
This is this young lady.
Are
The-
you in a band yourself, out of curiosity?
No, but I want to be.
Oh, there you go. Man. Get yourself. Wait, new vocalist? Are you getting them on stage yet or anything for a live show?
It was quite amazing when she did the vocals because I was just recording vocals one day and I thought it needs something over it. Just swung the mic around and told her what to do, and this like satanic voice came out. Gobsmacked because and she just did it, and so she ended up. There's two tracks on our debut EP that she does backing vocals on.
Brilliant.
Just that it sounded really good, and at
Hey,
that
there you
point,
go. Man.
at that point, Dave hadn't joined the band, so at that point, we didn't have anybody doing backing vocals, so she took it on, so it was brilliant. So that's her claim to fame there.
Get yourself a little band. Get it started. Would you do vocals out of curiosity? Would you do vocals or would you do an instrument or
I think so. I think I'd do vocals.
go for it?
A little bit as well.
Get it done.
I don't
Why
know.
not? The more bands, the better. The more music for ear holes, the better as well. So get it done. That'll be brilliant. So, like I say, we are getting slightly off a bit of a tangent. This is what I do. I do talk a lot of box, I did say. But what's the story behind the name Lock? Was this always the plan, or did it evolve with the band?
What the name itself?
Yeah.
Coming up with a name was an absolute nightmare. I just could not find a name that I felt fit with the band. I kept coming up with that. We went through various ideas that we thought were good, but when you just can't find that one. And then the reason why I sort of figured out the L.O.C thing was because when we were mixing the album, the EP, Colin used a plugin on my vocal. It's called Devil Lock. And I just thought that sounds pretty cool, but I thought it was a bit too obvious to just use the Devil Lock. So then I started thinking L.O.C. So I just shoved L.O.C in a Google search and found that it's a medical term that paramedics use for your level of consciousness. So I looked and thought level of consciousness also sounds really cool. But I really liked the abbreviation of L.O.C just because it's simple and easy to remember. And I always think that's important with a band name, is it wants to hit hard, it's and so that's what we went with, and it was the first name that I think sat with us all properly. And to be fair, it's stuck and it's done the trick. If ever we get any radio player, we're always told how good the name is because you can just say L.O.C or L.O.C or whatever. The only time it becomes a problem is if you're trying to put, if you're using Alexa or anything, you tend to have to spell it to Alexa. You can't just say L.O.C. You have to say L.O.C. So that's one downside we've found. But other than that, that's how the name came about. Is it was just the first thing that really clicked with us as a name.
Level of consciousness. So you said you Googled that. Did it actually tell you what the actual medical term was for?
It was for assessing. If paramedics go to an accident or something, and you're assessing somebody's level of consciousness.
Obviously, they abbreviate.
Yeah, so they abbreviate it to L.O.C, but
it's an altered state or...
Yeah. So obviously somebody's level of consciousness, if they're unconscious, is unconscious, it's...
Fair enough. Have you actually engaged, or has anyone with a medical profession come and any shows out of curiosity and asked what L.O.C actually stood for?
Well, not as of yet, but you've been dealing with paramedics recently, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you've given them a load of our cards, haven't you? So hopefully we'll get asked next time.
Yeah, they'll come to the gig and we could ask for the definition then.
So you touched on your music being in the groove metal bracket with a modern edge and a cinematic type of vibe as well. What were the core influences that shaped your, is it an album or EP, The Ultimate Karma?
It's an EP. There's a bit of everything in there, really. I'm really into bands such as I like bands such as Soulfly, Pantera, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, bands such as Slipknot as well. One of my all-time favourite bands is Lamb of God,
Nice.
But I also like some of this sort of 90s stuff like Clawfinger and stuff like that. So, with that little bit of a kind of almost rap edge to the vocals.
Kindred.
Yeah, and Kindred, awesome band as well. So I think it's fair to say there's a bit of everything in there because we've all got so many different influences. I mean, you've got a lot of death metal. Yeah, and all that kind of stuff.
Early days Incarcerated back in early 90s for me. Drumming for Incarcerated, then Babylon Fire. I don't know if you've heard of Babylon Fire from Manchester.
Yeah, I remember Babylon 5, yeah.
So, yeah. Been there, done it.
And also you got some Mastodon vibes as well.
Love the Don. Love the Don. I love it at the moment as well.
Does that fit into your influences as well, would you say?
It might do at some point in the future.
I think if you were to hear a full set of our original stuff, you'd see that there is a lot of different influences because we've got some of the newer tracks are quite a lot faster than the first stuff we wrote. And there's a bit of blast beating in there and that kind of thing, but still staying around the same sort of vibe as our other stuff's got. But I mean, I don't know, what would you say, Dave?
So I think my influences are thrash. So we're talking like
No tagging. Sorry.
You know. So the big four for me is my lifeblood, and I think obviously the EP was recorded before I joined the band. I think the new stuff is kind of a melting pot in it of all
Yeah,
of our
definitely.
influences. And yeah, I will take responsibility for this speeding up for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great thing, you know, to have four people putting in their influences. And the great thing is we get on great, so we're never at loggerheads about anything, you know. We get in there, we just play and it works. We knew we worked the band because the minute we walked into a room together and started playing, there was no messing about. We just clicked and started playing. But I mean, I've played with both Will and Mark in bands before. And then Dave came into the fold, but Dave just fit in. He was one of the people. It was like he came one day, and then it was like he'd never not been there.
Yeah.
You know, there was no sort of weird, awkward introduction or anything. It's like, he came to a rehearsal one night. He's like, "Hey, I'm Dave," and then he says, "Yeah, I can do that." And it turned up next time, and that was it. And we're just so lucky that we've ended up with four people who are basically the exact same temperament in that sense. You know, there's nobody in the band who throws their weight about or caused any issue. We just get on. We're all in it for the same reasons. We've all been in bands before. We've all been messed about and screwed over, and you know, we're
doing it for the fun.
Yeah, exactly.
For the crack, having a good time.
Yeah.
It's the love of the genre. You know, we grew up on metal. We've played in metal bands. We've played in other types of, well, I have, in other types of bands, and it's just something that we've all sort of gravitated towards. And playing the music that you love and writing, there's some pretty nice grooves, you know, and that's great from a band point of view, from a creative aspect. But when folks sort of dig it as well, then that makes you think, oh, right, okay, we've hit the nail on the head here. You know, we're people are listening to what we're doing and have been
For a new band, that's quite rare.
yeah, mostly we haven't even played a gig yet, you know. So when we've been hitting the socials and we've had a great response from folks. You know, the video came out a month ago, or whatever.
New track comes out on the 20th.
You know, so and people have been really supportive.
I mean, like I said, that week when I featured Step to Me, the algorithm did because normally the algorithm is shit, especially Instagram, but it did right because it appeared there it was Step to Me, and I was like, shit, this is brilliant. So that's when I was like, yes, get this fucking played on stream. But this is what I love about the metal community and metalheads in general, because I could feel your passion there throughout that, just all years. Do you know what I mean? This is what people who outside of the genre don't understand about metalheads.
We like to write heavy, angry music for the loveliest people.
This is it. It's like people will never understand though.
Yeah.
It's like it's just the passion, the love. It's not just it's a way of life. I see it. Do you know what I mean? Because when you're in it for life. When you get that first riff, when you hear that very first riff as a teenager, or whenever you hear it, you know that's it. You're a metalhead for the rest of your life. You're in it for life. It's not going anywhere. And the community, I will say, well, at least 80, we'll say 90% of the community, because you've always got that 10% who are a bit of a arseholes. But we'll say 90% of the community are absolutely fantastic, and they're right there behind you, pushing you.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I think it's not as bad as it used to be as well. It went through a stage, the metal scene, of being that many subgenres that it became like you couldn't like one subgenre if you liked another subgenre. But I do think the metal scene seems to have come round from that now, and everybody's back to the way it was back in the day, where we're all just like a big family, you know.
Agreed. 100%. Very well said, Adam.
I mean, I think we all come to metal as well for that reason, don't we? I mean, like I, as a kid, I was bullied at school and never really felt like fitting.
Right there with you.
And then I had Metallica, the Black Album, and it changed my life. You know, and I think, you know, music has that power. And I started at like 12 years old. I started going to gigs that I really shouldn't have been at, and that kind of thing. But the cool thing about it was, you'd walk into a room and like you'd be the youngest kid there, and everybody just pull you into a circle, and you'd be there in a big circle, headbanging with a load of people who just accept
a load of 50-year-olds.
Yeah. And the thing is, but the thing is, it's one of the few musical genres that does that. You know, I've always said this: you go to a metal gig, and everybody's so polite. you get very little rudeness at a metal gig. I've been to some gigs that aren't metal and been absolutely astounded with how rude people are and how many people are scrapping and causing issues. And it's like if ever you speak to security. I'm from a security background. I worked at Dorman for years, and if ever you speak to any security that work metal gigs, they love the metal gigs because they don't get any bother. So there you have it. It's just a good community to be involved in.
Free and easy.
Bang on the mark. Could not have said it better myself. But once again, off on the tangents. See, when you are writing, what usually comes first? Rhythm, visual concept, step to me, hits with that classic. What's it? Colin Richardson punch, if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
How did working with him elevate or challenge your sound?
Well, the thing with Colin is why he's brilliant to work with is because he helps you along, but he's not kind of forceful with his ideas. He works with you to create the best possible sound for both the sound of the record, but also of how you as a band visualize it. But he's very particular as well. He's quite OCD, is Colin. He's a good friend of mine now, is Colin. And he's like it with a lot of things, but he's very particular. He likes it to be right. So he really does push you in that aspect. And we'll all talk about this a bit because I know you learned a lot from him.
Yeah. Well, as it started off, I got in touch with Adam. He was after a bass player. So I'd seen that he was after somebody. I thought, oh, okay, I'll get in touch. So he sent some track ideas over to me. I thought I'll have a tickle around with this then, and he said, well, give it a week or two, and then come and Colin's coming round to record it. I thought, Colin Richardson, fuck right, I'm in. Just like no, I got a bit starstruck, and it was a case of this guy really knows. He's written he's been involved in production of some amazing albums, and so even if it didn't know what I would get from it, I thought the experience is going to be a good one nonetheless. And it was working with Colin. I'd do my homework. I'd have things prepped. I'd do that, and then he'd just say, "Relax. That's your first thing," And he would, and he does now. It's
no pressure.
No pressure. It's just right. You can do that again. His technique of recording a line may change. From depending how well rehearsed you are or how it works with the song or whatever. So I found it. The main thing I found was don't fall in love with what you've written because it can change, and it usually changed for the better of the song as a whole. But I found working with Colin a master class in production. That puts you at ease and gets the best from you.
That's interesting. Don't fall in love with what you've created. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because normally I've always said, if you can't dig your own stuff, how is anyone else going to dig it? Does that make sense? So it's interesting that he's kind of said that.
Well, with Colin knows where he's coming from, and he knows what he's listening.
I don't doubt the man's talents at the end of the day. He is the professional.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ultimate Karma suggests a cycle of consequences. What themes were you exploring lyrically on the EP?
Well, it was basically exactly that. It was about learning through life. No matter what's done to you, no matter how bad things get, things tend to work out for the better. And and that's basically what the theme of it is about. It's about kind of clawing your way from the bottom back to the top again, and
being stronger for it.
Yeah, it's not a negative concept. The karma aspect of it isn't a negative concept. It's not marveling in somebody else's downfall or anything like that. It's more for me a bit more of a positive concept about going through those hard times and coming out of them on top. And sometimes the people who have done that to you don't end up in as good a place as you end up, But yeah, so that's it really. But as I say, it's not meant as a negative thing. It's more of a positive message about lifting yourself up from the depths of
back to goodness and happiness.
Yeah, because I think it's fair to say that we've all been through stuff in our life that means that we end up at rock bottom. And sometimes, other people are responsible for not making that as easy as possible for you. And I think karma for me is more a case of it's a personal thing where when you've clawed your way back up, your karma is knowing that nobody's managed to defeat you and keep you down there.
Hmm.
And
I like the name because it's karma. Obviously, what goes around comes around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
which is why I love the name.
And sort of be careful who you tread on. It's like steps. Basically, that's kind of the concept behind step to me. It's don't challenge me because I will come out on top.
I like it. And on the subject of step to me, with the video leans hard into obviously horror and a zombie cinema type feel. Where did that concept come from?
Well, I love the horror theme anyway. I think horror and metal kind of goes hand in hand.
Couldn't agree more.
And also my fiance Jess, she is a brilliant special effects makeup artist. That round here there's a big event on called L.O.C. That they run and it's a huge like Halloween festival thing that they run every year that has like loads of kind of horror themed fun houses in there. And she was one of the makeup artists that did the makeup for that. So, and I'm quite into that kind of thing as well. So it seemed like a natural thing to be a concept for a video. And not only that, but Shaun, who shot the video, is sort of prolific in the horror industry. As well as doing music videos, he shoots horror films. So it just kind of made sense. But the concept for the video was just an idea I had in my head. The siren that's in there.
Yes.
It was that originally it made me think of them zombie films where there's like some spillage of some sort of toxic waste or something.
Toxic.
And everybody ends up all fucked up at the end. That was basically my thinking behind it. Was I just had this vision of barrels tipped over and the band playing and getting more kind of zombified as it went on. So when I spoke to Shaun, I said, "How do you fancy this for a concept?" And he was into it. So.
So that just to confirm, that Shaun Hodson, is that correct, from Loki films? Hodson, sorry, my apologies. My apologies, Shaun. If you are watching this back later on, please don't kick my ass. But he has a very distinct style. What was the collaboration like behind the scenes?
Mint
with Shaun.
It was cold. One of those. It was fucking freezing.
Yeah.
We spent more time with makeup than we did actually shooting the vid. But
really?
Working with Shaun was, I've never done that before, and any excuse to wear makeup, I suppose. So, but to work with again, it's like professional guys like Colin of Satcher, Shaun, same thing, and it was an opportunity that we think, oh, really? We're doing that, So, and he was great. What a dude! He's mint. Yeah. I like the guy, and hopefully we'll work with him again.
We've been incredibly lucky.
How did that collaboration come about?
Well, I was actually. There's a few things that lead to this. The reason why it came about with Colin mixing and producing our stuff is because I'm a painter and decorator by trade.
Nice.
And
that's what I am as well.
All right, cool. Well, when I worked subcontracting for a lot of years, and when I stopped subcontracting, I put on Facebook that I was starting my own business doing it. And one of the people who got in touch and inquired about a paint decorating job was Colin Richardson. So I was like, fuck, man, I need to get on this. So I went round and met him and his wife Caroline, had a really good chat with him and ended up getting the job. Now, the job lasted about 2 weeks and Colin was away working on an album and he got back halfway through. And Colin's quite an inquisitive guy, so he spent the next week sitting with me sort of on a daily basis while I was paint decorating, chatting with me about music, because he knew a bit about what I'd done in my past, and obviously I was really interested to know about what he'd done. And so he shared a lot of his stories with me, and we got chatting. And when the job finished, because I'd told him about
months later,
when the job finished and I was due to leave, me and Colin had a bit of a chat, and he said, after speaking to you, he said, I still feel like you should do something with music because you really sound to me like you've got unfinished business with it. and he's also very into. He likes his fine dining and things. So I said to him, "Well, I tell you what," I said, "I feel like we've become friends on this. So let's go out for a meal and have a chat." And we from there we became friends, and then I spent literally 2 years talking to him, and I was discussing this project that I was gonna do that I never actually got round to doing until the start of last year when I thought I'm going to do it. So that's how we came to be working with Colin. I just started demoing some stuff, sent it to him, really just for an opinion, and he got back in touch with me and said, "Yeah, I think you've got something there. I'll be round on Friday," and just came round and just offered to come and start working with it. Yeah, he just told me to get the beers in, and we just started it. And what started him saying he'd give me a bit of help ended up him fully working on. He's almost like a silent member of the band, is Colin. He's been a big part of it. But then it was Colin again while I was painting decorating his house. I was talking to him after we released the EP, and I said, "Colin, we could really do a music video." And he's like, "Well, how about you get in touch with Shaun? He's a good friend of mine, and he films Colin's content when Colin built like tone packs for STL and that kind of thing. He goes around and films all their content, and he's done a lot of filming work with Colin, and he's good friends. So Colin told me to get in touch with him. Obviously,
Just mentioned his name.
yeah, I just got in touch with him and said, Colin told me to get in touch with you, which then led to Shaun getting in touch with me, and then we just organised a Zoom meeting like this. We had a chat about the ideas, and it was like, yeah, let's do it.
Nice. See, I love it. Absolutely love it. How people just come together, just by even like, well, it might not be. I would say a happy accident because you've seen Colin's name and you wanted to do a job for him, of course. But still, it's brilliant to see that he went out just to help.
Yeah,
Absolutely
no, it's been
fantastic.
absolutely fantastic. We're so grateful to Colin because I mean, Colin's been a big part of helping this happen. And he's good enough. He's been mixing a band recently, and the new single needed mixing, and he broke off what he was doing to come and spend a day mixing our single, and he also organised it going over to Canada to be mastered by Harry Hass, who's done an absolutely phenomenal job of mastering it, and
Wow.
it just. And it's amazing that he'll go at those lengths for us. So I'm really grateful. And he's also become an absolutely brilliant friend of ours.
Wow.
Thanks, Colin.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Big shout out to Colin Richardson too. What a legend. Thank you so much. Because of you, you've given us this awesome band to enjoy. So thank you so much for that, Colin. So do you see horror as a long-term part of L.O.C identity, or is this just the perfect fit for this era?
I don't know. I think I personally quite like the idea of using it as a bit of an ongoing theme. I think it makes it a bit fun and a bit interesting. But we're also completely open to other concepts as well. But I just think there's that dark edge to it. Really does. To me, it feels like part of the genre, really. So I think there's always, in most metal stuff, though, there's always that kind of edge to it, isn't there? You don't see many clean-cut metal videos that don't have some element of sort of thrill to it, even whether it's direct horror or whether it's just, in subject matter.
It's theatre, isn't it? And it's all about entertaining folks. It's not just going to a gig and listening to some music. It's going as a punter and watching something,
being taken on a journey.
Let's see what these guys can do.
Storytelling, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. You're just painting a picture of music, aren't you?
Totally.
Your audience want to see a show, don't they? And it's the same with music video or anything. There's nothing worse than seeing a band who don't look like they enjoy what they do.
Yeah,
and I also think you can take.
You're telling a story through your music. You're telling your story to the people listening, watching.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Visually, you got to. I don't know if you do the horror aspect or the zombie aspect in a live setting, but should you do, you know what I mean? You've got the visuals aspect, the visual story, and then you're telling the story through your lyrics of your songs as well. So.
Yeah, well, when we discussed that sort of concept for live shows, we decided that what we plan to do for live shows is mix it up a bit. We're not going to go with one singular theme for how we look, but more leave it to make everything a bit more interesting, kind of so people don't quite know what to expect.
I hear you. I'm with you. So the lyrics feel very personal, but also a bit universal. how much of your writing is drawn from real experiences versus storytelling?
Most of my writing is derived from real experiences, whether my own or someone else's. I tend to be quite observational and take in what I see around me as well. So it can be anything from experiences. A great example is working on the doors. You get people come and speak to you on a nightly basis who are all going through something different in their lives. And I think what I try and do is kind of bring all that together with my own experiences, and then that kind of shapes the lyrics of the song. I normally, when I start writing a song, I tend to write a riff first, or a couple of riffs, so I've got something to work to, so I know what kind of melody I'm following with the vocals and such like. But then from there, it normally starts with a good chorus, and from that chorus kind of builds the lyrics on what I feel the chorus is about, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm
There's
with you.
normally a line that shapes the whole song, which then leads on to me drawing more experience in as I write the song to create, like you said, tell a story, create a mood and a feel. But also, the great thing about metal is it's that outward aggression.
Mm.
You can get things off your chest. And I like to hope that with what we write, people can listen to it and see a situation in their own lives that it fits with. Because we all listen to songs, and that song will mean something to us that it didn't necessarily mean to the person who wrote it or anybody else. But I've got loads of examples of that. There's certain, I mean, I went through a really bad time where my dad became very ill and spent 4 months in hospital before passing away. And he had a terrible stroke and suffered some horrendous brain damage and went through a really difficult time. And during that time, I asked myself a lot of questions in my head about life itself and why my dad was a great bloke and why somebody who was such a wonderful person was going through such immense suffering. And again, there were so many songs in that time that I drew something from that. I knew full well the person who wrote that song. There was an awful lot of Lamb of God songs, to be fair, because there's that level of anger in there. But also, Lamb of God stuff's very expressive, and songs like Ghost Walking and things like that, and Descending, all that kind of said something to me about the situation that I was going through and what my dad was going through. And it taught me something, that it taught me that a song can be about anything you want it to be, but that's not how the listener hears it. The listener hears it from their perspective.
Yeah.
And I think that really helped my songwriting because I started to write with that wider perspective.
Can I just say, Adam, thank you so much for sharing that, because that could not have been easy.
No,
That's it's especially with somebody who you've virtually just started talking to for the first time tonight. And now we might have passed messages back and forwards on Instagram or whatever, but this is the first proper conversation that we've had. So to share that moment about your father, that could not have been easy. So big love to you for sharing that, and it's always best, to talk about situations like that. So honestly, man, thank you so much. I feel you right there, because my father also had issues and passed away quite suddenly with bowel cancer. So I feel your pain. I know exactly where you're coming from there. So thank you so much for sharing.
no.
Just want to say,
At the end of the day, all I can be is honest about where these things come from, and I think we draw a lot of things from our life experiences, and it tends to be the hard times we go through in life that bear the biggest weight on us. It's
We're missing
couldn't agree
him,
more.
your number one fan, mate.
yeah.
Big time.
Exactly, mate. It's what keeps you all going, mate. Honestly, so
Yeah,
thank you so
definitely.
much. And you've got three awesome lads there as well with you as well, right behind you. So lean on them if you ever, because
That's it.
there'll be times. There'll be
Yeah.
times when, if you're anything like myself, there'll be times when you get that little blue moment when you miss your dad, when you just feel like,
Yeah,
I wish
most
my dad was here
definitely.
just for a bit of, you know what I mean? So, no, honestly, thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. I mean, anyone else out there who was struggling with similar issues, just do exactly what Adam has just done there. You've got a mate. Go to your local metal show. Just open up, share with them. Never be silent, which is what we tell people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I do think this is this is what the metal community really needs to be about, is people who, who can share their issues, share the good times, share the bad times. It's a community, isn't it? And it's what we need more of in life.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. But Dave, you've been a little quiet. So I'm going to ask this next one just for you, mate. Just for you. Is there a message or an emotion you hope listeners walk away from after hearing the EP?
I don't know if it's necessarily a feeling, but I would like them to come away from it with a sense of energy. I think that's the driving force behind the EP, is there is a lot of energy coming out of it almost.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's coming across right, but yeah, it's a very powerful message as well, I think, from a lyrical standpoint. And I think when you were
definitely
talking,
fits with the music.
yeah,
And the newer stuff's just getting even heavier, which is cool as well.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
I know you've been teasing a little bit of the new stuff as well, but which we'll touch on very shortly, of course. But I've kept away from it for this purpose of this conversation.
Strategic.
Sorry, I cut you off there, Dave. Apologies.
I can't even remember what I was going to say, mate.
So, guys, in your short time anyway, as a band, it's absolutely fantastic to see, because you can say we've known each other now for about 3 to 4 weeks now, and you've had Kerrang spotlighting you so early in the bands. It's just absolutely huge. How did it feel seeing yourselves on their homepage?
I think it's fair to say it's something that anybody has dreamt of if we're in a band.
Yeah.
Especially if
Play a
I've
metal band.
Yeah.
You want to be in Kerrang, you want to be in Metal Hammer, you want to be in all them big magazines.
Grown up reading and then seeing
exactly.
your face.
Yeah.
It's bucket list. Like,
well, yeah, it is. Yeah, Dad, look at this.
The one thing I will say is it makes it feel like it was all meant to be, because we've been incredibly lucky that in a short time we've had so many positive experiences, and so we've had so many opportunities come to us, that I just keep thinking this is really worth sticking with and working hard at, because it's all going in the right direction. And seeing something
feels right.
I think what was most amazing about the Kerrang thing was seeing it there actually on the front page at the top of the news. Because although it didn't stay there forever, there was just that there was a good hour where we were at the top.
Did you screenshot it? Have you got that saved?
Yeah.
our name in the newsletter.
Yeah.
Next to Lamb of God.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah. It's absolutely mental.
Yeah, it was, and there's been quite a few other sort of online publications that have come forward and really supported us. We get a lot of support off Total Rock Radio, as well as a guy called Mike P, who runs the L.O.C show on there, who was championed us right from the start, and has also helped. Like he actually designed the logo for us. Because he's a graphic designer as well. And it's great how people have rallied around to help us. People have just, David Roberts has just done our photographs for us. He's a really talented photographer, and these people just turning out to just help us. And I like to think it's because they feel our energy. They know we're serious about this, and we're pushing hard.
It'll be the personality of the four of you as well, because just from this conversation for the half hour, 45 minutes that we've already been talking, you come across as just awesome dudes.
Thanks.
Do you know what I mean? We're just awesome
chilled
dudes.
out, mate. Chilled out. We're all getting old.
I feel you there, mate. I feel you there. I turned 40 in August, so I've got like shitloads of grey hair, so I feel your pain there, man. But that'll be what it is. Everyone just feels the vibe of the four of you individual people. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, do you know what these guys? I would love to help these, and they hear the music as well, and that's just an added bonus. in my opinion.
Yeah,
Cheers,
no, I
mate.
appreciate saying that because I mean, really, that's exactly what we are. You know, we all work manual jobs that are hard work, apart from Dave who's in marketing. But yeah, we all.
Don't listen to him, Dave. Don't listen to him. Just don't listen. They don't know what it's like. Might not be physical, but it's mentally in it. It's mentally
Yeah, to
fucking
be
tired.
Yeah, to be fair,
I'm
I'll
not in
fucking
marketing, but I know what it's like.
That's why it's bald. He's pulling his hair out.
I had hair like that 3 months ago.
That's why do you think we're all bald for, lads? Tells you which ones are the hard workers. Just not saying anything here.
Well, I've got my nails to look for. Yeah.
Yeah, for somebody who does labouring on a building site, you're looking quite good shape, really, don't you?
I run away.
We'll strike this. We'll strike this out just in case you're foreman. I run away.
Yeah.
I hide.
Yeah.
Different Dino. Just pretend. I just drink coffee all day.
But no, that is kind of the essence of the band, really. Is we just
What? Just drink coffee all day.
yeah. No, we're just a set of guys who are doing what we enjoy, you know.
Yeah.
There's no
Because it makes us smile.
there's no rock star complex there. We just like having a good time.
And if people like it, they like it.
And people who doesn't want to have a good time.
Yeah,
So-
well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
And if
doesn't
we
want to
can
have a
make that
good
time a little bit better, then we've done our job, haven't we?
So, with that spotlight from Kerrang and from these other publications, especially in such a short time, has that sudden attention changed anything for you, creatively, personally, in the terms of the pressure?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we understand that because we've had this spotlight on us so early on, that we also need to deliver on that. It's not something that we can take the foot off the gas with. So we're sort of working very hard to live up to that and make sure that we can come forward from that, rather than just have a load of attention on us and then it all just die down. So I know from my perspective, I deal with a lot of social media stuff and that kind of thing. It's a job in itself, because the minute you stop putting out content, the minute you stop posting, it's amazing how quickly everything just drops off. So you have no choice. You have to keep on top of it. It don't matter whether you're tired. It don't matter whether you're busy. You've got to take that 5, 10, 15 minutes to send those mails and reply to people who are good enough to get in touch with you and compliment your music and support what you do. And also in the rehearsal room, we're working incredibly hard to make sure we live up to it in that sense as well. So yeah, there's definitely pressure there, but it also makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah,
So
couldn't agree more.
it gives you that.
Keeps you hungry.
Yeah, work ethic.
Well, we released the EP back in it was Halloween that came out. 4 songs. So since then, and it wasn't long after that we got a booking at a local gig here in Bridlington, Stirling Castle. The plug. And so we thought, well, if we're gonna do a show, we can't really just rest on 4 songs and play repeat. So we've been working, and this is probably where we made the decision to, because originally we were a 3-piece when we launched as a band. And then in Fake Friends, one of the tracks on the EP, it requires a guitar solo. And we thought easiest thing to do is, well, not the easiest, but the most sensible thing to do, we look for a bass player. Hence, Dave came along. So, and it's typical of this band, I'm not saying that it's been gifted on a plate or it's been easy, but the stress of that potential change hasn't been that stressful. It's been a bit of pressure. But as soon as Dave came on board, we all clicked together. We were writing new tunes, and I think with how long we've been rehearsing as a 4-piece, 2 months, if that.
Probably
Something like that. Yeah. We've got a full set nearly, and it's just hard work coming up with ideas, working with Adam, developing his ideas.
Do you throw a cover in there just to build a set?
No, we haven't got a.
No, we did discuss
We've been thinking about it.
Yeah, but we kind of got to a point where we thought, well, if we have enough original music to do a show, then do the original stuff. It doesn't mean we won't throw one in there at some point, but it just seemed more fitting to keep plugging forward with the original stuff because it was flowing so well. We were just on a weekly basis, we're writing more and more stuff, and it's just coming together so quick that you kind of just go with the momentum, you know.
We haven't recorded the new stuff. We've recorded one track that we've got in the catalogue as it is at the minute, and that'll be coming out on the 20th. I Fear No One. It's banging tune.
I can't wait for you to hear it because I think you'll hear the real evolution of us all working together and that melting pot, because it's kind of, I do think in some sense it's kind of a step above the other stuff with the, especially musically, you know, it's pretty hard hitting.
I can't wait to hear it.
And
of course, it'll be featured. It'll be featured, of course, on our Twitch channel or live stream or Get Heavy TV, of course. So whatever, if it comes out the 20th, is that a Friday? So whatever Tuesday, that following Tuesday, it'll be a feature on our Twitch channel. So I'm very much looking forward to hearing it. And you've obviously mentioned a few times there about your live shows. You have got a couple of shows, I do believe, coming up in Bridlington and Hull. Is that correct?
Hull.
Or if you're Welsh, hush.
But what can people expect from a L.O.C live set?
Impact.
Yeah, heavy drop tuned impact. I think there's a good energy coming because we all get on so well and work so well as musicians. Like Dave said earlier, energy. You know, that's what we give out. We enjoy what we do, and I'd really like to hope that will come across in a live show. And I'm excited for people to see what we've got to offer.
Yeah, man.
I have a lot of faith in this project, and I think and I like to think we're going to blow people away. You know.
Plenty of that's what I want. That
attitude.
That is the right attitude to have right there. That is it.
These three are in for a surprise.
What was that? Sorry, Dave, what was that?
These three are in for a bit of a surprise when we play live. So obviously you can't see me stood up, but I'm not the most svelte of blokes. Like, I'm quite a big lad. Yeah, unit, I think. Not to Adam's level, but anyone who's seen me on stage before kind of sees that I'm a bit of a different animal to how I am in my day-to-day life. I think I could be described as a sloth at times, but on stage it's more Tasmanian devil. So
that said, though, I get that vibe off Dave because he always delivers. You know, like when we recorded his bass and the backing vocals on that latest track, he really delivered. And Dave's got some great ideas as well. He's certainly brought another creative element to the band. And he, you know, he's not scared to stand up and say what he thinks, you know, and put his own stamp on things.
Keeps the boot up our asses.
Yeah, because you know, me as kind of the main songwriter, you tend to write your main riffs and your vocals, but then you end up with those gaps where you think, I don't really know what to do with it. And then somebody else, like Will, does it as well, and Mark, or brings something to the table, and you go, do you know what? I never thought about that, but that is fucking genius.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the great thing is, even us working together, we all do something that surprises the other ones, you know, and brings something else special to it. And that's what makes it exciting working as a team, you know.
Don't fall in love with what you've written.
So I'm waiting, assuming here, Dave, you haven't played a live show yet with the band yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet. So when is the first live show then?
27th of February. That's at Stirling Castle in Bridlington. That's like our debut show as L.O.C.
Right. Nice.
But and then we're doing O'Reilly's in Hull on the 12th of March. And then after that, we were originally going to book some more shows in line with that. But what we decided is, because we've had to put so much into being ready for these first shows, that after that, I think we're going to take another little bit of time out to continue doing some writing, maybe a bit more recording. And then look at over the summer, we've already been chatting about certain things. I know I was speaking with Mike P off Total Rock about the possibility of hooking up with another band that's doing a lot of festivals at the minute and doing something. And we're kind of looking at, we want to do quality shows rather than quantity shows. We want to be able to deliver our best version of ourselves, which I think you only get that with putting 100% into everything you do. If you block at our level, if you book 10 gigs, then that's 10 different places you've got to focus your attention on. Whereas if you book 2 or 3 in a group, you can really work on pushing those shows. And I think that's so important. None of us want to go and play to no people.
No,
and
we've all done the toilet tours before.
yeah, and the people who come to see you want to see a good show. So you have to make sure you're in a position where you're giving them 100% of who you are as well.
I think the lifespan of Lux so far, it's changed now that we're a 4-piece, and we've been focused on these couple of shows that are coming up. That I think with the writing as well, I think it will only get better. I think, and I'd like to explore. I'll speak personally, but I think the general consensus is we'd like to explore what we can make Lock sound like, what we can achieve, rather than think, oh fuck, we've only got 4 songs, then we could have put that on a set.
Do you feel ready for this live show?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Any nerves there, or you just?
I don't think there's any nerves there. I think everybody's just anxious to get out there. We've put so much hard work into pulling it all together in a relatively short space of time. I think we're all desperate to go out there and unleash.
We're equally dedicated to the cause, and want to. Well, we're all posers, really, we just want to go out and play and see what sort of reaction we get. Hopefully not bottles of piss, but just go and have a good time and live up to the hype, I think.
Yeah, and it's been brilliant, because to say we haven't yet played a live show, we're growing a pretty extensive fan base, and I put out a thing the other day asking for people if they wanted to pre-order T-shirts before the show, and we've just kept getting orders in for them, and people are really getting behind it. People aren't only just liking your post and things, but people are actually, actively supporting us, actively listening to our music, and it's like I said to these guys,
it's a worldwide thing as well.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah, it's like it amazes me. I open my Spotify for artists and look at where we've been getting streamed, and it's like literally all over the world. And then I'll wake up to voice messages, fan mail from people in America and things. There was a guy who got in touch from Orange County a week or so back who was cool. Yeah, who was listening to us while making coffins. And as content, and it's great meeting all these different people, and I like to speak to people. I know we all do. When people engage with us on social media, we're luckily at a level where you can have a conversation with somebody, and it's amazing the type of people you meet. And I really like to get that feel for who's listening to our music and who's enjoying it, and give a little bit of appreciation back. I don't think people really know how much it means to people like us who are playing music to know that it's being received by people positively, and that what you've done is having an impact on them. And it's just fantastic to hear it.
Love it. See, that's what I love. Just the passion. Adam, just the absolute passion, mate. That's what I absolutely love. So, but moving forward, for the future of the band, where do you see L.O.C heading in the next heavier, wider, or even more cinematic world?
Country.
Mate, whoa. Don't fucking tease me, right? I love me some Willie Nelson, right? Get that shit done.
To be honest, I'm a bit of a sucker for country as well.
I want some country groove metal. Get it done, lads. Right?
There you go.
There he goes.
I don't.
No. Oh, boo! What's wrong with some
Not
country?
the purist who can't have any fun.
My dad loves it. I fucking hate it.
Oh, I don't like some Willie Nelson. What's wrong with Big Will?
No.
Everyone likes some Big Will. I'm not talking about Will Smith. I'm talking about Willie Nelson. Oh, you don't know what you're missing, mate. You don't know what you're missing. Absolutely amazing guitar. It's amazing guitar work on it.
Well, yeah, I'm not knocking them as musicians. It's just when it's all put together, I just don't like country.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's just don't do out for me, mate. At all.
That's fair enough. It's each to their own. Isn't it?
Yeah, but I'll fly the flag for country. I like a bit of country.
Oh, well, how about Dave? Make it 3 against 1. Majority vote.
Not country, mate. Not a chance.
Oh,
I think for
fuck's
me
sake,
and
we're
Mark,
tied.
Must be a rhythm section thing, mate. Must be
Adam, where's your daughter? We need a tiebreaker here, man.
Stop.
Alfie!
We need a tiebreaker. Majority votes.
If it would be a different genre, it'd be EDM, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah.
Like dance or something like that.
Some
So
EDM. Some
Yeah.
EDM country groove
Give me one
metal. That's
second.
what we
I'm going
want.
to get a sort this out for us.
that's a mashup no one wants.
Yeah, hey, get it done. Why not? You can have some weird experimentation, EDM country groove metal. We've discussed it now. It's got to be done. If you didn't, and somebody creates it, and it fucking goes nuclear, you've missed it. You know what I mean? We need the tiebreaker. Who's got it? Oh,
Just come in. We need a tiebreaker. Coming in. Dog's here as well. We'll ask the dog's opinion as well. Come here where we can see you. Right, we've been having a debate. Me and Will like country music, and so does Stevie, and Mark and Dave don't. What do you think about country music? Are you going to?
I'll be honest.
I don't really like it.
oh, away. What's going on here?
Get out!
Oh well, that's who it is, didn't it?
Die. Die.
Like a bit of Gretchen Wilson.
Yeah, true. I like a bit of it. I just don't like loads of it.
I'll blame the parents. Me like it didn't bring them up rightly.
I think I've obviously just done her heading with it, Steve.
Memories. Oh well, we've missed opportunity there for some EDM, EDM country groove metal. Fucking hell, that is a mouthful and a half, is it not, Dave? Brilliant. So, anyway, because we're getting close to the end, guys. A couple of quick fires or a little bit of this is like where the fun kind of happens, if you will, and we ask everyone this question because being from Newcastle, it's all part of our heritage, it's part of our blood. What's your Greg's order, lads?
I'll be honest. I'm a Greg's virgin.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait.
Never had a Greg.
Suck 'em out. You can't come to the. You're talking about coming to the Toon. You can't come to the Toon and not have had a Greg's.
I like a story, man.
Yeah, I think you got to go with a classic, can't you? Sausage roll.
Yeah, sausage rolls are cool. Pies are cool. All the pasties. The pasties are cool. The sandwiches are cool. But we have coupons round here.
We do have a Greg's though.
So we do. It's miles away.
Is there Greg's in the precinct?
One in the precinct.
No,
In Brid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't live in Brid.
Yeah,
It's miles.
Yeah, that's not that.
I used to work for a marketing agency in York, and I used to go to Greg's every day for my lunch. But when I eventually left, they didn't get me a leaving present as such. They just got me a Greg's gift card.
And then Greg's went out of business.
Hey, absolute legends. Greg's gift card bargain.
Decent. But yeah, it's got to be yum yums. And then,
Yeah, they do a good breakfast and a pasty though, don't they?
Oh,
sausage,
definitely.
bean and cheese pasty. Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting hungry now, lads.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. You see, when he's coming to Newcastle, you have to go to the Greg's bar. Yes, it exists. There is a Greg's bar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When he's coming to Newcastle, you have to pint of pasty. Why not? Sounds brilliant. It's actually getting its own bar, from what I've been told, instead of just being upstairs in Primark. But get it done.
Nice.
So you
here, isn't it?
like you need one.
Exactly.
But you mentioned covers.
Oh, we've got a delivery.
Is that Greg's?
It's John on it.
Yeah, no, it's from John.
No.
This is Jessica, my other half's dad, works for a fantastic butchers round here that do like the best pork pies in the area. And Dave likes pork pies, so he's been gifted a pork pie.
What a legend.
Wow.
It's not Greg's though.
Worldwide exclusive. Dave getting gifted a pork pie.
It's not Greg's though. I'm disappointed you're not eating Greg's in front of us.
Rocky, you're not getting the pork pie.
Yeah.
So you've all mentioned covers before, so this one is for everyone.
Yep.
If you all had to cover a cheesy pop song, what song would you choose and why?
That's an hard one because there's been so many good versions of it already done.
Right.
I think Girls Aloud Sound of the Underground.
Get in, mate.
I went to music college, and one of our first assignments, like for the first week we were there, we had to cover Girl Love.
Right, there you go.
We did it in a
That was like some weird.
I'd love to do
like,
I'd love to do a metal version of Ashes to Ashes by David Bowie. That'd be cool.
He's gone a bit more sophisticated with that.
He has.
I'm the eldest. What you on about?
It'd be something by ABBA, I think, because Gunnarsson was a fucking mint bass player.
Yeah, and there's some wicked guitars.
Great. Yeah, I've seen. There was there was an American band that did a cover of Knowing Me, Knowing You, and it sounded mint. So probably, and you know, girls like ABBA, don't they? I do.
Weird.
I think for me, it'd have to be something by Elton John. Sorry, lads.
Elton John's
Elton John, like?
Yeah.
Grew up with him. Well, my mum and both my parents.
What was it like living with Elton John?
No comment.
Like
Rocket Man. Yeah, well, listening to him, mate, rather than living with him. But yeah, Rocket Man, I think would be
Bell classic film, yeah.
I'm standing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Nickelback did Saturday Night's All Right, didn't they?
Yeah.
Right, that's it. We're definitely we're cancelling this now. I'm not talking about Nickelback. Once. Yeah, what it is, I'm gonna out myself. When I was 14, my first show was a Nickelback show, and I'm fucking ashamed of it.
They have like one good song.
What song would you say that is?
They have more than one, let's be honest. I like the to the ground.
Yeah.
They're doing the ultimate cheese, aren't they? You know.
I know that because of I'm a bit of a wrestling fan, so I know that from that. So
it's not from your extensive Nickelback collection, then.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's my problem. It's not probably them. It's just it's overplayed, and it's you can't turn your own like local radio on, and it's there. Do you know what I mean? I think I got so sick of hearing How You Remind Me and Rockstar was just everywhere. Do you know what I mean? I just couldn't escape for it. So no hate towards them. It's just overplayed. That's all. Anyway, so if Locke were a horror villain, who would be who and why?
Horror villains.
Bane.
You go Bane, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you're a fucking tank like Bane. Let's be honest.
I have actually done it for Halloween's before, and got a hell of a lot of attention going out dressed like that because it was so authentic.
Which version of Bane though? Was it Tom Hardy's Bane? Was it or?
Yeah, the Tom Hardy version. Yeah.
Naked version.
Yeah, the naked version. Good excuse to go about top on.
What, from Bronson?
And cover my face as well, so made it even more beautiful.
Everybody says I look like fucking Bronson.
Yeah. It's a bit of a porn task thing you've got going on, isn't it?
A little bit. I see
also
it, to be
think he
honest
looks
with you.
like a bit of a Mexican gangbanger as well, doesn't he? You know, like he looks like he should have a white vest on.
You got chino shorts on.
No.
And long socks on.
Tonight he doesn't.
I couldn't see your legs there, mate.
Go out for 20 quid, mate.
He will as well.
Join onlyfans.com at Lock if you want to see some feet pictures. Anyone else? We've got some villains.
Vader, because I'm sure I'm starting with asthma.
For me, I'd have to go like left field, like Christine, Stephen King.
You want to be a cat?
Yeah, two right now.
That's well.
It's always,
original, isn't it?
it's always in a hood.
Run someone over. I don't know. That seems interesting to me.
Which band member is most likely to survive a zombie apocalypse, and who's getting eaten first?
I can tell you it's not me. Like, I'm not surviving. I'm not getting eaten.
So Dave's going first.
Me second because I'm delicious.
I'd like to think I'd have pretty good survival skills.
Yeah, because we do live in the country.
Yeah. We live out in the sticks anyway, and you know there are some of the locals that are like zombies, so we're already surviving.
Yeah.
I'll work with a few.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So, Dave, since you're going first, if you're going to get eaten first, which out of the three of your colleagues here are you going for first?
We eat first.
Yeah, I think Adam would probably be tasty because it's muscle in it.
Yeah, there's a bit more of it as well, isn't there? You know.
You get more bang for your buck.
Well,
Yeah, that's
it's spit roasted.
Oh my god!
Oh, spit roasted. Send up and all.
What about the delicious one though? He's tasty.
Yeah, Will does look like it. Will. I'd be like the steak. Will it be like the chicken dinner?
I've got ribs. I've got ribs too.
And Mark could be streaky bacon.
Absolutely brilliant, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
I've had
Thank you for having
absolute
us.
blast having a chat with you tonight.
Amen.
Before we do end our evening, is there anything that you wish to plug?
Well, first, we've got our new single coming out, I Fear No One. That's coming out on the 20th of February, which is a Friday.
Nice.
So, and if you head over to our social media, there's pre-save links on there, so you can have it all ready, so you get it the second it comes out.
Nice.
Excellent.
Check out
Where can we
Crank's
find L.O.C on social medias? What media platforms are you on?
We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Is that it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Hodson. Do you
YouTube.
do the TikTok dances, do you?
Yeah. I'm brilliant. Amazing dancer.
Hey,
Legendary.
if I go on your TikTok and I don't see some dances, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I'm going to have to record some now, aren't I?
You have to.
I don't have two whip moves, it's thrust and gyrate.
That's fucking brilliant.
I literally do that dance for everything as well.
In a leather.
Brilliant.
Do you shimmy?
Oh yeah, I have a shimmy as well. It's just kind of like an awkward robot shimmy.
I'll let you shit yourself.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, guys, well, thank you very much for your time. And I'm going to leave you with our Get Heavy Creed, which is the rules of the pit are the rules for life. When someone fouls, we pick them up.
Very true.
Hopefully, we'll see you down the road in Newcastle upon Tyne soon, and we'll have a cheeky beer.
Yeah, we shall make a point of it.
Definitely. Excellent.
I'll speak to you some more about that anyway, because I'm sure you're a good man to give us some advice on where's best and what to do.
I can give you plenty of advices of who to reach out, venues, what is best for anyone new coming into town, blah blah blah. So I'll give you some contacts of who to reach out to.
Yeah,
I know we do obviously a Heavy Fest, but we're very close to completely locking that entire weekend out, unfortunately.
That's a real shame, because if you're locking it out, the perfect band to have would be lost.
Yeah, I see what you did there, mate. I see what you did there. Very well done. Anyway, cheers very much for your time, guys. Appreciate it. Big love, dears, and we'll see you really soon.
Keep it heavy.